Okay, so hello guys, welcome back to the new video. So in this video we're gonna make this website using React.js and the Tailwind CSS. The modern technologies React.js and the Tailwind CSS. So this is a simple agency website, and this website is totally responsive for all the screen, and we're gonna use the latest modern frameworks like React.js and the CSS framework Tailwind CSS. Okay, so let me show the demonstration of the website which we're gonna make in this video. So you can see that we have this home page, and we have this header with the hover effect on the menus. Okay, so if I click on the services, it will take me to the services. So this is our main hero section, and here we have the view more btn, and let's move to the this section, and here we have the this type of section, and let's move to our client section, and here we have the client grid. Okay, and this is totally responsive for all the screens, and this is our pricing section. So you can see that, and we also have the hover effect on this also, and this is our contact form which is totally responsive for all the screens, and here we have the social icon and the form. Okay, and this is our footer. Okay, so let's get back to the top, and if I go to the services, it will take me to the services. Then if I click on the testimonials, pricing, and similarly the contact. Okay, so if I show you the mobile responsiveness of this, so let me go to the inspect, and here you can see that this website is totally responsive for all the screens. So this is our home page, and if I do it like this, okay, so it will change its layout according to the screen size, and this is totally responsive for the mobile screen. If I click on the menu icon, so you can see that we have the footer which is responsive for the screens, and if I click on the menu, suppose if I click on the menu, the menu will appear like this, and also we have the close icon, and if I go to the desktop version, the menu will gone, and we have this default menu for the desktop. Okay, and if I go in the phone, we have this menu for the mobile. Okay, so let's start the video, and we're gonna make this by using the React.js and the Tailwind CSS. Okay, so for making this, you have to make a new folder, and inside that folder you have to go and open with code, and for this you have to install the Node.js first. So install the Node.js from the Google. You have to just go to the Node.js website, and you have to install the latest Node.js from there. Okay, so just go to this website and download it from here, and after that let's set up our React.js project. So you have to make a folder, and inside this folder open with code. I am using here the VS Code. You can use any code editor like Scrimba or any code editor you want. I prefer to use the VS Code. Okay, so after that we have to go to the Tailwind website, and from here we have to give some command. So let's go to the Tailwind CSS website, and here we have to click on the get started button, and after that go to the quick search, and right here install CSS Tailwind with white, the first option. So so we have these commands here, so we have to first copy this first command. So let's copy this first command. Okay, so just copy this first command, and then go to here, open this here, and you have to paste this command in the terminal. Okay, so let's paste this command here, and you have to enter the folder name where you want to install. So I'm going to install this project in the same folder, so I'm going to give the dot star, and you have to give the enter. Okay, so it will install the latest React.js project using Vite. Okay, so this is done. So now just we have to install the second command, which is this npm install d tailwind css and the auto prefixer and post css. Okay, just copy this command, and then paste it here, and run this. So this will install the auto prefixer and the post css file. So let's wait for it to install. Okay, so after that we have to install this init npx tailwind init -p. So let me remove this. Okay, so let's wait for it to install. Okay, so this is installed. Then we have to run the next command. We have to run this command nps tailwind init -p in that terminal. So copy this command and go to here and press enter. So it will make the post file, post.config.css file. Okay, this one. Okay, so our all the commands are ready. Now just what we have to do, we have to go to the package.json. Okay, so you have to go to the package log.json and that's okay. So you have to go to this file, and here in the content, we have to go here and just copy this whole file, tailwind.config.js file from this, and you have to replace this file with that file. Okay, just save it. Now what we have to do, we have to make this index.css. So go to your src folder. So let's go to the src folder, and here we have to go to the index.css file. Just remove all the code and paste this tailwind command. Okay, just save it. Okay, so now we have to go to the app.js and just go to the app.js file and just remove all the file from here and paste this and this. Okay, so now we have to write it here cls and then write npm run dev. So let's see if our project is opened or not. Okay, so let me open this link in a window. Okay, so let's wait for it to open. Okay, so you can see that our project is set up. Okay, so let's remove the old one. Okay, so now we're gonna make the fresh website from start. Okay, so first what we have to do, our all the files are ready. So I will give you this assets folder. So you have to just copy the asset folder from the video description. Okay, so I will provide you this asset folder. Okay, so let's go to the app.css. We don't need the app.css file, just remove this, make delete. And we also don't need this main dot. Okay, we need main.jsx. Okay, so else we need all the files. Okay, so for the assets folder, I will give you the assets folder. Okay, so just I will give you the assets folder in the video description. So let me copy this asset folder from here, and I'm gonna paste this asset folder in my current website. So I'm gonna replace this. So let's delete this assets folder from here, and we're gonna paste the new asset folder. Okay, so our asset folder is replaced, and now we have these icons with all the files. Okay, so I will give you this folder in the video description. So let me remove all the code from here. We don't want this also. Okay, so now what we have to do, in the assets, in the source folder, we have to make a folder components. Then we have to again make a folder sections, and we have to make another folder exports. Okay, so now what we have to do, in the components folder we're gonna make all the components, and in the sections folder we're gonna make all the sections like hero, about, and in this export section I have to make a file js where we're gonna import all the things. So I will give you that file also in the video description. Okay, so let me go to this my old folder, and I'm gonna open this with code, and I will give you this index.js file also. So let me do one thing, let me go to src folder, and from here in export, and I'm gonna copy this index.js file from here. I will give you both the file in the video description. Okay, so let's go to src, and in the export folder I'm gonna remove this index.css, and we're gonna paste the index.js here. Okay, so if I go to index.exports in index.jss, I will find this code. Okay, so here we are just importing our okay, so these are the contents for the website which we gonna use in the grid. Okay, so these are all the content, and it's a simple JSON file, and here I am exporting all the pricing and the clients okay, the content and all, and these are the icons which I am using here. The code icon is using in the about grid and the db grid. Okay, so these are all the icons, and in the assets folder I have the icons, and here I have imported all the icons of this, and I have exported this icon for using in the website, and here I have all the images. Okay, so let's start the video, and we're gonna edit our app.jsx file. Okay, so let's first make all the sections. Okay, so first we have to make a section. So let's go to our sections, and inside the section first we're gonna make the header section. So write in the capital header.jsx. Then we're gonna make the hero section, so write it here hero.jsx. Then I'm gonna make the about.jsx. Then after about we're gonna make the testimonial.jsx, and after that make pricing.jsx, and after that make contact.jsx. Then we have the footer. Okay, so then make the footer.jsx file. Okay, so our all the sections are ready, so just we have to go to, so let's go to the about, and here I'm gonna write the RAFC. So this is a extension of the VS Code, so you have to just go here and write the ES7 ES6 extension React Redux code snippet. So it will, so this is this extension, and also I'm using one more extension for the Tailwind CSS. So you have to go here and write in the extension Tailwind, so it will give you this first one, IntelliSense. Okay, so just install these two extension. Okay, so now we have to go to the contact, and here I'm gonna write the RAFC again. Let's pick then footer. Also let's write RAFC here also. So here then we have to go to the header RAFC, then go to the hero RAFC, then pricing. Okay, just write everywhere this RAFC and testimonial. Okay, so our all sections are ready, so let's start the video, and first we're gonna make the, okay, so let's first in the app.jsx I also do RAFC, and inside this return statement I'm gonna render this tag, and inside this let's import our header. Just write it like this, so it will automatically import. If it's not imported, so you can do like this, you can just write it here header and write it here. Okay, so if it is not imported, you have to just go here and import about from section about, like this. So okay, so this is not automatically importing, so let me import this manually. So let's import the contact from, okay, so let's do one thing. We have the same file, so let's do like that, and here I'm gonna write contact, and we're gonna write the footer, Then after the footer, write the header. Then after the header, write hero, and here we're gonna write the hero section, and after the hero I'm gonna import the pricing, and let's duplicate it one more time for the testimonial, and here we're gonna write the testimonials. Okay, so after that just we have to write here header, and after the header we have to write hero, about, testimonials, and after that we have to write here pricing, contact, footer. So let's save this, and if I go here, you can see that it is rendering all our sections. Okay, so let's start making our hero section first, and at last we're going to make the header and footer. So let's go to this hero section or the hero component, and here we're going to make the hero section first. Okay, so for making the hero section I have to so let's these are all imported. I have to import an icon here, so which is required here. So I'm going to write here hero img from import dot slash. So we have to go to this assets, then we have to go to the images, then I have to write here hero img dot png, so it will import this image. Okay, so in the return statement let's render yet section. Okay, so inside this section we have to give a class name of flex, then we have to give flex column, so it will be in the column direction, and for the large devices I have to give the flex row. Okay, so for the bigger devices it will be in the row direction. And here we have to give the justify between item center, then we have to give a gap of 4, width should be full in all devices, then bg slate, and here I have to give 100, then height would be auto, and for the large devices height will be screen. Okay, so let's save it, and in the view I have to give the word wrap. Okay, so let's format this. Now we have to, inside this section we have to make a div. Okay, so let's give the classes to this div also. So here I will flex, justify center, item start, flex call, so it will be in the column direction, then gap of 8. In LG devices we will give the width of 1/2, then padding in the x-axis will be 10, and padding in the y-axis will be also 10. Then for the large devices padding will be 20, and for the large devices padding in the y-axis will be 20. Okay, so let's format this again, and inside this div we're gonna make an h1 tag, and let's write here one click solution for your static website. So let's go here, and you can see that we have start making this. So let's go to, in h1 tag I have to give a class name of text green 600, then give the font bold, and the text would be 6XL. So let's save this. Okay, so this is rendered. Now we have to enter a p tag here. So for the p tag enter here, and here I'm gonna use the lorem ipsum, So I'm gonna give the lorem 20, so it will give me 20 random text. Then in the p tag, go to class name, and here we're gonna give the text slate 950 to make it dark, text to Excel. Okay, so let's save the changes, and you can see that it is rendered. Okay, so now we have to make the two buttons. Okay, so I'm gonna give a div here, and inside this div, and for the div, let's give a class name flex justify center. So justify center items center and gap of 7, and we are getting this type of response due to this extension which we have installed for the Tailwind CSS. Okay, so that's why I have told you to install those extensions. Then inside this I have to make a button, and let's rename the button first view more. Okay, so let's give this button some classes. So write it here bg green 800, then write it here text white, then padding in the x-axis would be 4, and for the large devices padding will be, and for the large devices padding would be 8, then py 3. Then I'm gonna give the border of rounded MD, so it will give a border radius of rounded MD. Then for the text I'm gonna use the custom size, so let's give the 18 pixel size, and on the hover BG would be changed to black, and on the hover text would be white, and we're gonna give the cursor pointer, so when someone take its mouse over it, it will be in the cursor pointer. Okay, so we have this button also. So now we have to make another button for the watch video. Okay, so for that let's write it here text watch video. Okay, so let's, in the button I'm gonna give the class name border 2 border green of 800, text green 800, so it will make the text green. Then we're gonna give the custom size here also 18 pixel to the text, then give the rounded MD again for its border radius, and we're gonna give the padding of px4 for the x-axis, and for the large devices we're gonna give the padding of px8 and py3 for the small devices, and on hover border black, and on hover text black, and cursor would be pointer in this also. Okay, so let's save this, and you can see that our both the things are ready. Okay, so now we have to render the image. Okay, so for rendering the image, let's format this first. Okay, so this is formatted, so let's minimize this. Okay, so we have this div, and after this main div we're gonna add another div. So let's give a class name to the second div for the image which contain the image. So here I'm gonna give the flex and the justify center item center, and for the small devices width will be 1/2, and padding would be in the x-axis would be 5 for the small devices, and py20, and here I'm gonna write the object cover, so image will cover this full section. So let's render the image which we have just imported at the top. So here in the src I'm gonna give the hero img, and in the alternate for the image name I'm gonna give the hero image. So let's give the width of 500 to the image, and height of 500. Okay, so let's save this, and here we also have the image. Okay, so our hero section is ready. Now we have to make the about section. Okay, so for making the about section, let's close our hero section and let's go to our about.jsx, and inside this let's add the section again. So I'm gonna write here section, and inside this section I'm gonna give some classes to it also. So first let's give the ID. So when I click on the menu, it will trigger here. Okay, so it will come to this ID. Okay, so for the section I'm gonna give the width of full, and then we're gonna give the bg slate, the background color bg slate 200. Then we give the flex call, so it will be flex in the column, and for the large devices flex row. Then we give the gap of 10, and for the large devices gap would be 20. Then height would be fit. Then we have to give the padding of 7 to the x-axis, and the padding y to the y-axis, and for the large devices padding would be 18. Padding would be 16, and for the large devices padding in the y-axis would be 12. Okay, so let's save this, let's format this one, and in the view we have to go to the word and wrap. Okay, so let's go here. So right now we have this section here. Okay, so inside this section we have to give a div. Okay, so let's give some classes to this div also, flex, and we're gonna give the justify center, item start, flex would be column for all the devices, and gap of 8. Then for the large devices width would be 1/2. Okay, so it will take the 50% of the width. Okay, so let's add an h1 tag here, and in the h1 tag I'm gonna write the hosting solution with benefits. Okay, so let's give the class name to this also. So here I'm gonna give the text green 600, and font bold, and text 6XL. So let's save this and get back to this. And so here we have the here. So let's enter a P, and here I am give the lorem 20 again. Okay, so let's give the class name to this also. So let's give here text slate of 950 and of text of 2XL. So let's update this, and so it is trigger here. So after the P tag we have to make a div, and inside this div we have to make a button. So let's first give the class name to this div, styling to the div. We have to make the flex, then justify, make it center, and for the items make it center, and gap of 7. Okay, so inside the div let's add a button, and for the button I'm gonna write the read more. Okay, so let's give it the styles to this button also, and inside this I'm gonna write the bg green 800, text white, then padding in the x-axis would be 8, padding in the y-axis would be 3, rounded MD, we're gonna give the border radius, and text size of custom 18 pixel. Okay, and on hover bg black, and on hover text would be white, and of course the cursor pointer. So let's go back. So we have this button also. So now we have to go, let's format the code once. Okay, so we have to go to this outside div, and here we're gonna trigger the another div for the grid. Okay, so inside, so let's give the class styling to it also, flex, justify between, item center, so width will be full for the mobile, and for the large devices width would be 1/2, so it will take the width of half of the screen, and the flex wrap for the small screens. Okay, so inside this we have to map something. So for the mapping we have just added here in the exports. So for the mapping we're going to use the about grid. So here we have the four content. Okay, so we're going to map this here. So for mapping this, we have to open the JSX here and write it here about grids dot map. Okay, about grid dot map, and here we're going to write the grid. Then after that we have to go here, and here we have to open a div statement, close this also, and inside this div let's give a class name. Okay, so first we're gonna give the key grid dot label, and let's give the classes here also. Here we are going to get the classes of width full for the small devices, and for the large devices width would be 1/2. Okay, so inside this let's add a about grid component, and we're gonna make this component, and here I'm gonna pass all the props from here. Let's pass the grid prop from here. Okay, so now we have to go to this component, and here I have to make another file about grid.jsx, and here I have to write the array of C. Okay, then inside the about grid we have to take all the props. So let's go to the about grid, and here we write the array destructuring, and here I'm going to trigger the icon, text, label, and heading. Okay, so we have the array destructuring here as a prop. Now inside this div I have to give some classes for styling. So let's go to this div here and give the class name here flex, and also give the justify center, item center, gap of 5 for small devices, and flex column bg white, and rounded LG, border radius of LG, then margin of 2, then padding of 3, and in large devices we're gonna give the padding of 7. Okay, so let's see if there is no error. So I think there is some issue, so let's get back to this. So first we have to trigger this, so let's complete this. So inside this we're gonna add an image, and for the image I'm gonna use the icon from the top. Okay, and in the alternate name I'm gonna give the icon, and for the width I'm gonna use the 65, and for the height also we're gonna use the 65 again. So let's give a class name here, and for the class name let's use bg green 400, padding of 3, rounded full, hover bg green 500, and here we're gonna use the cursor pointer. Okay, so let's get back to our about.jsx. So here we have to import the about grid. Okay, that's why it is not rendering. So let's go to about grid and let's save this, so it will import here. Okay, because we don't have imported the about grid, so now it is come. So now after the image section, okay, so let me do one thing. We have to format this and go to view. Let me close this, and we're gonna do the word wrap. Okay, so now we're gonna enter the h1 here, and for the h1 I'm gonna write here heading, which we are getting from the props. And for the class name let's give the classes text 2XL, LG text, and for the large devices text would be 3XL, text center, text green 600, and the font would be semi bold. So let's save the, so you can see that our text is ready. Now we have to enter a p tag here, and inside the p tag I'm going to use the text from the prop. Okay, so let's give the styling here also. Here I'm gonna give the custom font size of 18 pixel, text center, text slate of 700. So let's see this. Okay, so we have also this. Now I'm gonna use another p tag, and inside this I'm gonna use the label. Let's give it styling BG green of 800, text of white, and padding in the x direction PS6 PY2, and rounded MD text. Again we're gonna give the custom size here, so text would be 16 pixel, and for the hover I'm gonna give the BG black, and for the hover text would be white, and of course the cursor pointer at last. So let's format this one more time and let's see. Okay, so our this section is also ready. I think we have to give some gap in the div above. So for the gap here I'm going to give the gap of 5. So this is not 55. Let's save it. Okay, so now our about section is also ready, and also these animations are working, and this is totally responsive. If I go to the inspect, so you can see that it is totally responsive till now. Okay, so after that we have to make our next section. Okay, so let's close this about and about grid, and let's close the index.js also. And after that we're gonna make our let's make our pricing section. Okay, so let's make our pricing section. Okay, so for making the pricing section we have to again make a section here. Okay, so first we have to import some files from the top. So let's first import those. So let's go to import, and here I have to import tick from dot, and we have to go to the assets folder, and in the assets I have to go to the icons. Okay, so just copy this 3 times, and after that, okay, so we have to only use the export tick here. Now we have to go here, and we have to import pricing from exports, and we have to import one more thing, price grid, which we're gonna make right now, and we're gonna use another grid for here. So we have to import this from the components inside price grid. Okay, so we will make this. Okay, so let's go to your section, and inside this section let's add a class name. Okay, so for that first let's add an ID here, so it will go here after clicking to the menu. So let's add here pricing, and let's give the style here. So for the style I'm gonna give the width full, bg select 200 flex column, justify center, item would be start, height would be fit, and for the x-axis we can put the px7 and py14, and for the large devices p would be 20 and gap would be 5 for all. Okay, so let's format this, and in the view go to Wordpress. Okay, so now inside this section we're gonna make a h1, and inside this I'm gonna write here pricing table. So let's give a styling to this, flex call, and flex row for the large devices gap of 6, and for the large devices gap would be 20, justify center. Okay, so here I think we have to use the justify between and item start, and width would be full. Okay, width will be full. Now after that okay, so let's do one more thing. Let's comment this too, so it will trigger our section here. Okay, so we are getting this. Okay, so now we have to import after that we have to make a div tag here. Okay, so this is our main div, main left div, and after that we will have another div. So first so let's inside this div let's give a classes first here, styles. So I'm gonna give the flex call, and lg flex and for the large flex will be row, and gap of 6, and for the large devices gap would be 20, then justify here we have to give the justify between. Okay, so here in this I have just written some. Okay, so in the h1 tag we have to give the text green 600. Okay, and font bold, text of 6XL. Okay, so let's go here and see. So this is comes, and for this div we have to give this flex column and on. So gap 6, lg gap 20, justify between, items start, and width of full. So inside this div we have to make a p tag here. So for the p tag let's use the lorem 20, and inside this p tag I have to give a class some styling. So we have to give the text of slate 950 text to Excel. So let's go here, and this comes, and after the p tag we have to give a div here, and inside this div to give the width of full, then in the large devices width would be 2/4. Okay, the large devices width will be 2/4, and inside this I have to make a UL tag, and let's give the classes to this UL tag. Div, okay, then p, then I have the div again, the UL tag, and inside this you have to give a class name of flex column, justify center, item start, gap of 4, and width will be full. Okay, and inside this we have to give the li. Okay, so let's write li and let's give a class name for the li. Flex justify center, item center, then gap of 4 to all the li tag inside, then text size will be 21 pixel here, and the text would be gray 800. So let's go here inside this li tag. Inside this li tag I have to give a span tag here, and let's give the class styling to this also. So I'm going to write bg green 400. Okay, so write it here bg green 400. Then padding would be 1, rounded full, then fill would be white. Okay, then inside this span tag we have to trigger a src, and here we have to trigger the tick. Here also write the tick. Then let's give the width of 30, height of 30. Okay, and after that here we have to write unlimited pages. You can write anything you want. So let's save this. So we have this here, but this is working on the whole. So let's see and check our CSS. So here in the UL tag, this is working on whole li. So I think li tag is closed here. bg green p1 full image. Okay, so we have to give this unlimited pages after the span tag. Okay, so let's remove this and we're gonna here. So let's see. Okay, so it comes. I think the rounded full is not working because we have the spelling mistake. So let's do that. Okay, so this is done. So now just we have to duplicate this 2 more times. So let's go to this li tag and press the alt plus shift 2 more times. So it will trigger this 2 more times here. So let's save this and see we have this. So now just we have to copy this again. So we have to copy this from this div and just copy this again. So let's save this, and here we have the first section. So let's just format the code. This section up here. So now we can see that here we have little bit problem here, the spacing problem. So let's go to this section, and here after this in this div we're gonna give a margin top of 5. Okay, so let's save it, and now we have this problem solved. Okay, so one more thing, here in the UL tag, I have given here width full, so we don't have to give here width full. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so let's see our section. Okay, so let's move to the next section. So first let's format this, and I'm going to word wrap. Okay, so this is wrapped. So now we have this section, and inside this we have one h1 tag, then we have this main div, and after this main div we have to make another section for the grid. Okay, so let's render a div, and let's give a class name styling here. So I'm going to give the width full, flex, justify around, item center, flex wrap, gap of 10, and empty top 20. Okay, so empty top 20, and inside this we're gonna render the pricing dot map here, and inside this we're gonna write the pricing. Okay, so take it like this, and inside this let's add another div, and let's give a class name to this div, width 96, and here let's give a key. Here we're gonna give the price dot plan. Okay, so these are coming from where? These are coming from the same export.js. Here we have the pricing. Okay, so you can see that here we have the pricing this, and this is coming from here. Okay, this one. Okay, so now we have this. So let's go here, and here we have some problem. So let's get back to this. Okay, so here we have to write like this. Okay, so let's go here again. So here we don't have the price grid. Okay, so here we have the pricing dot map, so we have to write here pricing. Okay, now this comes. Okay, so now what we have to do, inside this div we have to add price grid. Okay, and we have to pass all the price as a prop here. Okay, so let's go to the our components, and here I'm gonna enter a price grid.jsx, and inside this I'm gonna put this. Okay, so now we have to make the price grid. Okay, so let's take our props, about, like that, and after that inside this div you have to enter a class name flex column, justify center, item start, bg white, and in x-axis padding would be 6, and in y, and in at the top padding would be 10, and at the bottom padding would be 20, rounded XL, gap of 8, border, then I give a random size, border 3 pixel, then give the border green 800. Okay, so let's format it first and go to view, and let's wrap it. Okay, so this is giving some error, so let's first complete this. Okay, so inside this price grid we have to make an h1 tag, and let's write here plan. Okay, so let's get back to the price, and here we have to uncomment this, so error will be gone. Okay, so now this is rendered here. Okay, so now we have to go to the price grid again, and here in the h1 tag let's give a class name here, text green 600, text 3xl. Okay, so this is like this. Now after the h1 tag you have to make another h1 tag, and this would contain price. Give the styling here, text green 600, okay, text 5xl, font bold. So it comes. Now we have to go here and we have to render a p tag, and inside this p tag I have to give the button. So let's add the styling. BG green 800, text white, in x-axis padding would be 6, y-axis 2, rounded MD border radius and rounded MD. Then we have text of 20 pixel, and on hover BG black, hover text white, and the cursor would be pointer. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so this is like this. Okay, so then after the here you have to give another p tag, and this will render about. Let's add a class name here, text slate 800, text excel. So our this section is also ready. Okay, so now we have to make our testimonial. Okay, so let's make a testimonial section now. Okay, so for this we have to go to the testimonials, and here we're gonna make the testimonial section now, this section. Okay, so for making the testimonial section we have to import some so let's do word drive here and let's format this ones. Okay, so let's edit here section, and inside this section I'm gonna give the classes. Okay, so first let's give an ID, testimonials. Okay, and for the here I'm gonna get the width full, flex call gap of 5, height fit, padding 7, and in LG padding would be 20. Okay, then after this section, inside this section let's give a p tag, and this will contain testimonials. Okay, so let's give the styling to it, text center, text excel. So okay, so this is looking like this. So let's make it in small, testimonial, like this. Now let's go to here and we're gonna trigger a h1 tag, and here we have to enter what clients says, and here we have to give the styling here, text green 600, then font bold, text 6XL, text center and leading. We'll give the line height of 68 pixel. Okay, so let's save it. Now we have this. Okay, so for the next section we have to add another p tag, and it will contain some dummy content. Let me add lorem 20, and let's style it again, text slate 950, and text 2XL, text center. Okay, so here we have to give the text slate of 950. This 9 is miss, let's save. Okay, so here we have this. Okay, so let's add a br tag here. After that, okay, so like that. So after that we have to make a div tag, and inside this div let's give a styling first, class name, flex justify center, item center, flex wrap, and margin top 5, width full, and gap of 6. Let's format this, and inside this div we're gonna render the client grid clients. So it is automatically imported above dot map, and inside this we're gonna give the client like this, then trigger a div here. Okay, then inside this div we have to give a key client dot name, and let's give a width of 80. Okay, and inside this you have to make a client grid, and here we have to pass all the props client. Let's format this. Okay, so we have to import we have to make this component. So go to components and make here client grid dot jsx. Okay, so let's remove the old one. Okay, so let's go testimonial, and here we have to imports client okay, so let me remove this, and let's go here. It is not giving me auto suggestion. Let me go here. Okay, we have not added here RFC, that's why. Okay, so let's save it, and let's go here, and here I have to write client grid. Okay, like this. Okay, perfect. I think I am getting some error here. Okay, I have to give here this. Okay, so this is all. Let's go to here. Okay, so now we are back, and we have this client grid here. Okay, so just we have to go to this client grid, and inside this client grid we have to render all the content which we are getting from the export. So here we have the client this one, and we have to make this. Okay, so these are the props which we are taking there. Okay, image, about, name, and profile. So let me go to here, and here we have to take the prop image, about, name, profile. Okay, then inside this div let's give a class name of bg slate 200, padding in x6, padding in y8, flex justify center, item center, flex call, gap of 4, rounded would be XL. Let's format this, and let's go to view, and let's wrap it. You can also wrap it by doing the Alt plus Z. Okay, but I like to wrap from here. Okay, so now inside this, let's go here. So we are getting these 4 boxes here. So let's add an image source, and inside this image I'm gonna trigger the image, and here let's write anything image, and in the width I'm gonna write 140 and height of 140. So let's go here. So here we have the image. Now we have to go p tag, and here let's here about, and inside this I'm gonna give the class name of text center, text 17 pixel, text gray with 600. Okay, then in the h1 tag write the name, and in the class I have to give text center, text green of 700, and text 2xl, and font will be semi bold. Let's save it, and here we have the name. Now we have to make another p tag, and inside this write profile. Let's give the styling, text center, and text will be 17 pixel, text gray 800. Okay, so let's go here. Now you can see that our testimonial section is also ready. Okay, so let's move to the next section now. So now we have the footer and our contact, and the header section is only left. So let's make the contact section. So let's close the about section here, and let's open the contact section, and now we have to make the contact section. Okay, so for making the contact section, let's go here and write it here section, and after writing the section, okay, so here we have to write everything inside. So because we have, okay, so write like this, and inside this we're gonna add a section, and inside this I'm gonna give contact. Okay, so then after that let's give a class name style, width full, bg, slate 200, flex call, and in the large devices flex will be row, gap of 10, lg gap of 20, height fit, and padding would be 4, and for large devices padding would be 20, justify center, item center. Okay, so let's format this and go to view, and we're gonna word wrap it. Okay, so let's go here, and we have this contact here. So inside this contact, so inside this now we have to make a div container, the parent container, and inside this let's add a class name flex justify items center width full, and in large devices width would be 3/4, flex call, flex row, bg white, rounded lg, and in x-axis padding would be 8, and in y-axis padding would be 12, and gap of 10, and z index of 20. Okay, so let's format this, and let's go here, and inside this is the main div, and inside this we have to add another div. Let's give it class name flex justify center item center. Okay, item start flex call for the mobile, and gap of 4, and width will be full. Okay, so now inside this div we have to add h1 tag. So let's write contact info. Okay, so we have this here. So what we have to do, let's style it text green 600, font bold, text 35 pixel. Okay, so after the h1 tag we have to write a div here, and inside this let added id of phone. So we will know that this is for the phone, and let's give a class name flag justify center item center gap of 4, text large semi bold, text gray 600. Okay, so right now we don't have any content inside this div. So inside this div we have to give a span tag, and inside the span tag we have the image tag. Okay, so inside this div we have to, let's go here, add a span tag. Okay, so let's give a class to this span tag first. Class name bg green 400, padding of 3, rounded full, and inside the span tag I have image tag, and here we have to call icon, and here we have to give the width of 22, height of 22. Okay, and after the span tag, outside the span tag we have to give a random number. So let me give any random number, 1 2 3. Okay, so let's save this and format this once. Go here. Okay, so right now we don't have anything here because we have to import the icons from the top. That's why it is giving an error. So let me go here, and we're gonna import call fb insta map sms twitter and yt from assets and icons. Okay, so let's save this. Okay, so you can see that we have this first icon. So now just we have to duplicate this whole div. Okay, so now we have to just duplicate this whole div 2 times, one for the mail, and okay, so let's duplicate this div. So you can see that we have this. So just change the content. Okay, so first of all, for the first one we have to change the content, and we have to write here mail. I think we have to write here SMS. Let's go here. So you can see that our this is rendered here, and for this you can also write here div if you want, but this is not necessary. And for here, let's give a random mail here, demo mail @gmail.com. So let's save it, and you can see that I have this mail here. And for the last one, this is our address. Write here address if you want, and for this update it to the map, and let's enter here any random lorem 10. Okay. So see, okay, so this is our address. So okay, so here we have id logos. Let's give classes here, and we're gonna give the flex justify center, item center, gap of 4, empty 10. Okay, and inside this we're gonna give a span tag, give the bg green 500, padding of 3, rounded full. Here we're gonna give the cursor pointer, okay, on hover, bg green 600. Okay, and after the span tag I'm going to give the image src, and here we got the fb, give the fb icon. Okay, so you can write anything, the fb icon. Let's give the width of 25 and the height of 25. Okay, so we have this span here. Let's format it and see. Okay, so now we have this. So this color is not working. Okay, so because we have to give it like that. Okay, so now we have this. So just we have to duplicate this span tag 3 times. Okay, 1 2 3. Let's save this. So now we have like this. So for the second one, let's write the Insta, and here we're gonna write the YT for the YouTube, and here that's the Twitter. Okay, so now our this section is also ready. So let's format it once. Okay, so now after this div tag, okay, so this is the main div, and inside this okay, so this is our main div. Okay, so after that we have to section here. Okay, so here we have this is for the form. So write light here flex call, and after that we have to give justify center, item center, gap of 2 and gap of 2, and width will be full. Okay, then inside this we have to make an input tag, input type equal to text, and placeholder will be enter your name. Enter your name. Okay, so let's give the classes here for the styling. Here we give the padding in the x-axis px4 and py4, width full, border 2, border green 500, rounded LG, text will be 18 pixel, BG slate 100, focus outline none, focus hover, okay, focus outline none, and on focus we have to give border green 600. Okay, so let's save and see. Okay, so this is done. So now just we have to duplicate for the email. So let's go here and copy this, just duplicate this, and here we're gonna change the email, and here we have to write here in the placeholder we have to write enter your email. Okay, so let's save this. Okay, so yeah, so now we have to make a text area here below that. Okay, so for making the text area we have to write text area, and just rename this. So let's give it the styling first. Class name, the px would be 4, py would be 4, okay, so I think that, so let me do one thing, let's copy the styling of this, and we're gonna copy the styling of this, and let's copy here. Okay, so let's save. Okay, so here the text area, just we have to make the row 5, so it will be small. Okay, so it will be small, and just you have to change the text area also. And for the placeholder we can give here enter your message. Let's save. Okay, so now we have this form. Okay, so inside this form we have to make a submit button, so let's add a button here, button, and we're gonna write in the capital submit, and let's give the styling BG green 700, so it will make the background green, text white, px padding in the x-axis 4 and padding in the y-axis 3, width full, rounded LG, and on hover BG black, and the cursor would be pointer. So let's save it. Okay, so our form is ready. So now we have to add an image, so let's take it above, and let's add an image here, and here I'm gonna write the cube, and here let's leave it blank, and let's add a class name, width full, height 72, absolute, this is optional. If you want to add this image you can add this, or you can leave it also. Okay, so this is very optional. Pixel, and make it hidden in for all, and only show it on the bigger devices. Okay, so for this we have to import this cube. Okay, so for importing this, let's go here, and inside the assets, inside the images, the cube.png. So let's format this and save it one more time. So you can see that we have this image behind that. Okay, so this will be come here when we add the header and footer, so it will be aligned properly. Okay, so our contact section is also ready, and you can see that this whole website is totally responsive. So you can see that this whole website is responsive. Okay, and it is totally responsive in all screen. And after that I will also show you how to deploy this on the Netlify. Okay, so now okay, so now our header and footer is only left. So next part we're gonna make the header, and at the last we're gonna make the footer. So let's make the header here. So let's go to sections, and from here go to the header, and after that we have to make here section, and inside this section let's add class name here. Width full, and bg black, text white, flex, justify between, item center, and padding px8, py6. Then for the large devices add the padding 16, and we have to make it sticky at the top 0, and z index would be 40. Okay, z index would be 40. So let's go here. So you can see that we have this header now. So now after that we have to add an h1 tag here, and in the h1 we can write the logo, website name. I'm going to write here debug entity, and let's style this. Here we have to add text green 600, and here we have to write the text 3xl, font bold, and now we have to format this. Okay, so after formatting this we have get this here. Then after that we have to add another div here, and in the class name add here hidden lg flag, justify and here make the item center and gap of 2. Okay, then inside this div you have to add an ul tag. Okay, so let's first style this ul tag, and here we have to give the justify, and here we have to give the justify center, and here we have to give the item center and gap of 3. Okay, so inside the ul tag you have to make the li. Let's name the class. Okay, so here we don't give the class name, and inside this li you have to give href. Okay, so first let's style the a tag, class name text lg, text slate 100, cursor pointer rounded sm px5, py2, hover bg green 600, and hover text white and on active. And on active we have to make the text white also. Okay, so right now we don't have any link, so we have to go to here in the href. You can give your website name here, and after that let's write it here home. Let's format this and go to view and wrap this. So we have this home, and also the hover effect is working. So now just we have to go here and we have to duplicate this 4 times. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so okay, so we have our links here. Now just we have to rename this, so let's rename this services, and here testimonials, here pricing, to give the contact, format this. Okay, so our this is ready. So right now we have given the blank here href. So now what we have to do, for the services we have to give here $services, okay, @services, and for the testimonial we have to give here testimonial, so it will be trigger it to that pricing and contact. Okay, so let's update this, refresh it one more time. If I click services, now it is redirecting to all the sections. Okay, so our this part is ready. Okay, so now we have to make the mobile part. Okay, so now we have to make the mobile part. For that, after this div, we have to make another div, and let's give the class name of flex. So this will be flex always, and in the large devices it will be hidden and in the column direction. Okay, so now let's go below. So here now we have to give icon toggle. These are the states, so we have to make this state above. So I will make this state, and inside this we have to make an image tag. So image tag will have the source value close icon. So this is a close icon, and you have to give the width of 40 here and height of 40, and on click, so on click you have to add the arrow function here, and this will trigger 2 function. So one function is toggle menu, okay, and another function is toggle icon. Okay, and after this icon we have to make another trigger here, and let me copy this image tag here from the top, and let's paste it here. Okay, so this will be trigger menu, change the name. Okay, so let's format this, and let's see. So this will be gone, so we have to import from above. So let's go here above, and we have to import menu, from assets and icons, and similarly we have to import you can also add it here above. Okay, so like that. Okay, so let's remove this. Okay, so it is also not coming because we have added here on click function. So let's complete the code, and after that we're gonna add so let's do one thing. Let's add the function here. So let's go here above, and here we have to add constant toggle set toggle, and this will be use state function, and this will have the default value as a false. Now we have to make icon toggle and set icon toggle here. This will be used it again with false. Okay, and we have to make one more menu class, set menu class, use state, which we have null value. Okay, so let's make the function first. Constant toggle menu like this, and inside this I have to write set toggle, and set toggle will be like this toggle. Okay, now we have to make toggle icon here, and inside this set icon toggle and icon toggle like this. So let's format this and update. Okay, so this comes. So if I check it here, okay, so you can see that our menu is toggling here. Okay, so it is also changing on toggle. Okay, so now what we have to do, let's go here and okay, so our this method is ready. Now we have to below this, and here we have to make the toggle and write and if we are getting the toggle value, write like this and write this tag here, and inside this let's give an id of mob menu, and in the class name we have to make like this and remove this, and here we have to use this operator. Let's give it bg green 500, text white py4, and we have to make it absolute top 20, right 0, and width will be full. Okay, then after that we have to add a dollar sign here, and inside this menu add the menu class. So for wanting this menu class we have to define a use effect at the top. So add a use effect here, it will be added above, and after that make like this is an arrow function, and here we have to write the set menu class. If menu class is toggle, so first let's add some transition opacity is in duration of 300, transform translate y minus 0, and opacity 100, and if not, and if the value is false, if the value is true, then this CSS will be rendered, and if the value is false, then add transition opacity is in duration 300, transform minus translate -y, so it will be close and opacity is 0. Okay, so let's add semicolon here. Format the code and go to view. It is wrapped. Okay, so our use effect is done and we have to add here toggle. So every time the button is toggle, so this use effect will be run. We have to just add it here toggle. Okay, so let's go here and let's go to our mobile part. Here we can see that when I click here, so our menu is appearing below like that. Okay, so now we have to make the mobile menu. Okay, so inside this div tag, you have to make an UL tag and you have to give the class name flex call, justify item center gap of 2, and inside this we have to make an li. Let's give a text Excel, text white, semi bold, font semi bold, and on hover the color will be changed. Text white and width will be full. And for the padding in the y-axis you have to give the 3 and text center. Okay, so just edit here the menu name like home. Let's save and format it. Let's get back to here and let's see one more time if it is working. Okay, so when I trigger, the menu will appear in the mobile too. Okay, so let's go here and now we have to just duplicate this 4 times. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's change the name here, services, testimonials, pricing, contact. Okay, let's format this. Okay, so let's check. Okay, so our mobile menu is ready and when I click it will gone. Okay, so our header part is ready. Now our last part is only left, which is the footer part. Okay, so our all sections are ready. Just we have to make the footer. So let's start and we have to go to this footer section and here first we have to enter here right section. Let's give a class name to this section and I'm gonna give the width full, bg black, text white, flex column, and in LG it will be flex row, justify between item start gap of 10 and in LG gap would be 4. In LG gap would be 4 and padding in x-axis would be 10, padding in y-axis would be 14, and in LG padding in x-axis 20 and padding y in large devices would be 28. So let's format it and let's go to view and let's wrap it. Okay, so let's go here and we have the footer background color here. Okay, so now inside this footer let's add a div. Let's give styling flex call, justify center, item start gap of 2, width full, and in large devices width would be let's give the custom width 40%. Okay, so inside this div we have to add an h1 tag. Okay, so for the h1 tag we have to write the logo name, or you can enter the logo in the image part too. Let's give the class name text green 600, and font will be bold 4XL. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so this is come here. Now we have to enter a p tag below that and give the lorem 20 random text, and let's give the class styling to it. So let's add text large text slate 200. Okay, so let's save it and see. Okay, so this comes. Now we have to inside this div you have to enter another div, and let's give class name. This is for the icons. Okay, so let's go here and write flag and justify center items center, gap would be 4, margin top 7, logos let's write, and inside this let's enter a span tag. Let's give class name bg white, padding 2, rounded full, cursor pointer, and on hover bg green 600. Okay, and after that let's add an image tag, and here I will give image of FB icon, and here let's add FB icon. Okay, so let's give the width of 20 and height of 20. Okay, so when we go here it will show me an error because we don't imported our here, so we have to go here import and write here FB Insta, Twitter and Facebook from assets. We need to go to the icons. Okay, so if I trigger here, so it is again showing an error. Okay, so let's refresh and see what is the error. Format it. Okay, so here we have the FB. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so here we have added two names same. So here we have to give the YT. Let's save. Okay, so this comes. Error is solved. Now we have the Facebook icon. So now just we have to duplicate this. Okay, just duplicate this and just we have to change here YT Insta Twitter. Only we have the 4, so let's delete the last one. Let's format it and save it. Okay, so now we have this. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to make another section here, and inside this section let's add the class name flex column, justify center item start, and in LG large devices items would be center, and width will be full in small devices, and in large devices we're gonna give a custom width of 20% to all the containers. Okay, so let's save it. And inside this we're gonna give an UL tag. Let's enter the style to this UL. Flex column, justify center, item start, and gap of 3. Let's format this, and inside this UL we're gonna give the li tag. Okay, and inside the li let's write h1. Okay, we have to give this h1 outside this li. So here and here we have to write anything. So let me write the pages, and let's give the h1 class text excel, font semi bold. Okay, so let's save and let's format. So we have these pages here. Now inside this li tag we have to write home, and let's give class styling to it, text slate 300, and here we have to give the cursor pointer, and on hover text green 300. Okay, so let's duplicate this 2 3 4 5, and here just we have to change the name. Okay, so let's go here, right here services, and right here testimonials, and right here pricing, right here contact. Let's format. Let's see. Okay, so our pages are here, and also the hover effect is working. So now just we have to duplicate this whole section 2 more times. So we have to copy this here 1 2, and let's format this, and let's save. Okay, so our sections are come, and our footer is also ready, and it is totally responsive. So if I go here, so our all sections are ready. Now just we have to deploy it. Okay, so let me show. So all sections are ready, and the mobile part is also ready. It is working totally good in mobile, and this is desktop part, and this is totally responsive in all screens. And if I go here, so our mobile menu is also coming, and if I click here, it will be closed. Okay, so let's move to our final part, and I'm going to show you how to deploy this project for free on Netlify. Okay, so for deployment, what we have to do, let's open this new from here, terminal, and here we have to write the npm run build command. So let's go here, npm run build. Okay, so it will build a version of this whole project, and we're gonna upload that folder then. Okay, so it is building, so let's wait for it to build it. Building for production, so it will take some time sometimes. Okay, so it is completed in approx this seconds. Okay, so now we have this folder, this. So what we have to do, we have to go to the Netlify, and just you have to make an account there. So I already have an account there, so I will show you. So you have to just make an account there, and then after that you have to go to add new site, and from here deploy here यहाँ पर deploy manually, then go to browse to upload folder, and from here you have to choose the folder of your project. Okay, so you have to choose the folder of your project, like mine, this one. Just you have to choose upload. So you have to upload this dist folder there. Okay, for deployment, so it will deploy your project here. So it is deployed. So if I click here preview, it will be show me. So before that we have to go to the options. Okay, so go to the site overview, and from here go to the site configuration, and from here you can change the name. So you can write any name like my React Tailwind CSS site or anything you want. Okay, just save it and it will give you a link. So like this. So let's open this and see our deployed project online. Okay, so you can see that our project is deployed here, and you can share this URL with your friends, or you can add this URL to your project for showing your project. Okay, so you can see that our whole website is ready, and this is totally responsive and also working. So let's see the final part of this, and let's inspect this one, and let's see the responsiveness. Okay, so you can see that this is totally responsive in all the screens, and if I go in the mobile part, it is also totally responsive. Okay, so in this way you can make any React.js website by using the Tailwind CSS. Okay, so the mobile part is also working and the icon is also. So if you like our video, please subscribe to our channel, like and share our videos with your friends, and I'm gonna see you next time.